Michelle Adekanmi, the senior housing legal assistant at Ealing Council, was involved with Natalie Bishop and Ms Kent-Payne, are the two employees work for Ealing Council in the attempt to offer the tenant a bribery sum to accept desired sum of £150 compensation on the 4th of July, which was 4 months ago, in the corrupt scheme in order to shut the litigation claim against the council, which Ms Adekanmi with Ms Kent-Payne and Ms Bishop were involved of committing bribery with corruption, already been reported to the Audit and Investigation for fraud and corruption. This include racketeering, housing disrepair, corruption, bribery, fraud, and corruption, contrary to the Bribery Act of 2010. This further breach the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. In other words, they have committed imprisonable offences by harassing the tenant to accept the £150 by sending him text messages and sending him letters in order to shut down the case. In other words, Ealing Council attempt to offer the tenant an extra £1,100. In total, they want to offer £1,250 in compensation dated on the 22nd of August 2023, which the tenant further reject the bribery sum as desired for the reason which Michelle Adekanmi and Ealing Council as their final settlement to cover up the continued abuses, racketeering, bribery, and corruption, attempting to bribe the tenant, who also asked the claimant and his solicitor to drop its litigation claim on the housing disrepair against the council, acted with misrepresentation under the Fraud Act 2006, abused their positions. They have committed a criminal offence which is contrary under the Bribery Act, carry imprisonment terms up to 10 years. This include protection from harassment under the Harassment Act of 1997 that carries 6 months imprisonment. It's either imprisonment, fine, or both. In other words, it will carry 10 years and 6 months imprisonment. In addition as well, it contravened the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. In this regard, in other words, they refuse to take the issue of the housing disrepair, which has been ongoing for nearly 3 years, since November 2020. When the tenant moved into the property in 2021, the council abused the process. They refused to be engaged with the tenant by abusing him of his rights, because they have committed corruption. They have committed every offences in this respect. They tried to shut down the case, which they have been very dishonest, which they've been economical with the truth in this regard.